Hi, I'm Jake Gross, a senior at Boston University.
I'm Nicholas Gross, a freshman at Villanova University, just graduated from BCC High School.
Our mom, Holly Gross, was diagnosed with ALS in July of 2019, and since then we have been her full-time caretakers and have supported her, as well as our father, who has Parkinson's, and it's been a lot over the past couple years.
I remember the day my mom was diagnosed. We didn't know, she went through like hundreds of tests to see what the symptoms she was experiencing was. But I remember the morning she came back from one test, and she didn't tell us that she was going to the test, but she came back and we saw her out the window crying, and she came in and she told us that it was ALS, and I just remember her yelling she didn't want to leave us, and it was just a hard day, and it's gotten harder ever since.
Well, what made that day so difficult was I remember she walked in and she started breaking down crying, and I had never heard her cry like that. And at the time she had already started to lose her voice because she had been showing symptoms for maybe 6 to 8 months at that time, so it was hard for her to even say what was making her cry so much. And she said she had ALS, and I remember her friend who took her to the doctor led her to her bedroom, and me and Nick were just out there confused, like, why was she crying, what was going on so much? And I remember Googling on my phone what ALS was, and then it just hit us, and we saw the life expectancy, and we saw why she was crying so much, and why that was such a horrible moment for her and our family and everyone who knows us.
It was just like it was a weird experience that day. Me and my brother were talking about how we're gonna go to school and stay supporting her, the financial difficulties of it, if I could stay in crew, how it's gonna work with my dad, and how long she has left with us.
Yeah, and I remember we talked about it right then that day, and I said, I might not go back in the fall. I might not go to my sophomore year. I might take a year or two off just to, support our family, continue working. I was working that summer, and as the weeks progressed, I talked to my mom about this, and she told me absolutely not. You have to go to school. And my mom has been so supportive of our education all throughout our lives. I remember when I first was applying to schools and I got into Boston University, my dream school, my dad at the time told us, we can't afford that. We can't afford to be paying $75,000 a year. However, my mom then pulled me aside and she said, Jake, I will work extra hours, I will work overtime, I will do whatever is necessary to pay for your education to help get you through these 4 years. And tragically, she was diagnosed with ALS a year later, and a couple months after that, out of work. So, she tried financially to support me, and then because of ALS, that has subsided. However, just emotionally, she has supported me through these 4 years, and I'm going into my senior year, and I wouldn't be here without my mom, who's guided me. And that's what makes this diagnosis so hard, is that I don't know if I can have another 4 years with her.
Absolutely. I actually tried quitting crew, and she wouldn't let me. She said I wasn't allowed, just because she's always been just, like he said, so supportive of everything we do, whether it's sports, whether it's crew, our hobbies. She's always there providing for us, providing the support. And so just seeing her not being able to provide for us anymore, taking us to sports games and working and whatnot, it's really difficult. It's really hard, but it helps knowing that she's still there, her mind is still there. I came home from crew every day, from school every day, and she would ask me how my day was still 2 years after her diagnosis. My mom, many years ago, probably 10 years ago, bought me a signed Ovechkin jersey at a silent auction fundraiser for my birthday, and it was by far the coolest gift I got. But when she was diagnosed with ALS, we were heavily financially burdened, and so we held a fundraiser, and I gave up I auctioned off the jersey, just because I figured it's a material thing, and I'd rather support my mom and get whatever money I could from that to support my mom than have this material thing. And it turns out that the people at the auction, it was the highest selling thing at the auction, but they returned it to me at the end of the auction, just as a sign of goodwill, and it was just a really amazing experience. And then a couple of months later, the Capitals organization heard about it, and they actually sent me another signed Ovechkin jersey, which was just amazing to see the support of the community, to see the support of the Capitals, and to see the impact that my mom has on people.
Yeah, I mean, it was a group of Nicholas's friends' parents who bought the jersey back for him, and all they were saying when they were planning this whole thing, they were secretly talking about buying this for him. All they were saying is, if Nick's willing to do this for his mom, we should be willing to do this for him. And it's just that friendship that our mom has kind of fostered throughout this community, this friend group that really has supported us so much throughout all of this. And yeah, it's really the community that's come together to help us through this. And that was evident with Nicholas's jersey.
As he said, she supported us, and now it's our turn to support her. And that's what we've been doing. That's what we'll continue to do. And we'll support our dad as well, who suffers from Parkinson's, as he supported us tremendously over the past few years.
Yeah, and that also has made it hard on our family, is that they're both suffering from these diseases at the same time. And in the past, my mom would support our dad. I mean, he has Parkinson's, he can't do a lot of stuff. She would drive him to work every day. Now he wants to repay that favor to her and help her out, but he can't. He physically cannot lift her. He cannot provide suction, which is one of the main things we do, caretaking for her. And it falls on us, and we're happy to kind of bear that load for both of them because they're our parents and we love them and we'll do anything. There's so many times where it is so difficult and it is so challenging when you're up all night, when you're trying to keep track of which medicine goes where, when you're on the phone with doctors and caretakers and figuring stuff out, and it's hard and it really hurts. But in the end, it's just worth it. It makes you feel like you've done the right thing and that you're just helping these people who have helped you, and it's rewarding. The ALS Association, just as it's just this community that we feel. The sense of like, we are not alone in this fight, because especially during the pandemic, you might feel very isolated, and we felt we were doing a ton just to take care of our mom. But then you realize that there's all these other people who are also, care about this cause immensely and are willing to lend a hand, willing to listen to you, willing to help you. And that just has been enormous at a time when we really need it. The ALS Association has been there for us.
They've been reaching out to personally me and my brother about therapy for each other, and about scholarships for school, and it's, aside from helping my mom with her care, I think it's really important and really amazing that they're also providing care and support for the family as well.
I want to thank everyone who has, whether you know someone with ALS, whether you have a family member with ALS, or whether you don't, and you're just doing an amazing thing and helping out these people who do need your help. It's an incredible thing, and it's a thankless thing, and it's selfless. And I mean, these contributions, they go such a long way towards helping myself, my mom, people like us, people who have this horrible illness in their family, in their life, that they have to deal with day to day. And it's so incredible what people are able to do when they come together like this and support foundations like the ALS Association. And thank you. It just means the world.
Without support from donors, without nurses, without supporters, without everybody who goes into the ALS Association, we wouldn't be where we are today. I don't know. We couldn't have done what we've done, and we couldn't have provided the quality of life that we've given my mom. And so I'd like to say thank you for all of the support,